Over 2 years now? Holy shit, that's crazy.
I take it you've cleared the way to the baths? Follow me, but don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Or can we? Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Okay, we can
What an
auto-follow.
extraordinary lamp.
You ever play RPGs? Dude, I played a ton, especially when I was younger. Mostly Japanese console RPGs. I want to get into Dungeons & Dragons, but there's actually a scene for it here in Korea, too, in English. Thanks, A-Pop. Appreciate it, man. Ooh, look at this. They got places like this in Korea, by the way, man. Korean spas. Sauna.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp.
Ooh.
But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
Uh-oh.
Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
That's a cool twist. It's not Karen. It's the different spelling. If it was a real Karen, it would have been like, you can't be here. I'm calling the police if you touch me. You touch me, that's assault. Not Karen. So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
So this is a game where you're in a time loop. If you break the golden rule, you have to escape and then start over. But all the information you retain, you get to come back into the world. We're trapped in some kind of a city. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But basically, all you have to know is that we're all stuck here in this world. Why didn't you recognize? Why don't you recognize Karen immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kamut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
I've noticed you seem uncomfortable with calling the god of the I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Hey. Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can?
Yes.
I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day.
Tassels.
But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Korean plaque. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. Didn't miss a thing.
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
We know Georgius. I know which ones are Christians. The servants of the head of the city are Christians.
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth. All right, I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side. Ave.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed
Say
to worry
it.
about things you can't
Speak
control.
its name. Then it is true. I was right.
What if she's out there somewhere?
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it? I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Done. Nice.
Friend, you have given me hope. May you follow in the footsteps of Hercules and return to the light of day.
How do I set this as my main goal?
Shiny.
A golden bow. Feeling all right? You made it into the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia? Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did.
Arrived when you did.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yuli.
Rufius. Which one's Rufius again? Oh. Not this way. No. Where the fuck is this guy?
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Vote for Malleolus for a free
you
drink at
again.
my
I
tavern.
haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
What business is
You
that of
argue
yours?
yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming.
Willowbark.
Anyway, I thought you Stoics
And
weren't supposed
this
to
will
worry
work?
about things you can't control.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
but-
God. Finally, some relief.
What if there is something
This
I can do?
is what I've been praying
What if
for.
she's out there somewhere suffering?
Maybe God
waiting
hasn't
to be
abandoned
found?
me after all.
Sounds like you're torturing yourself.
Thank you.
Leave that for the gods.
I've
Try to
been
relax. Get some rest.
in a lot of
Tomorrow's
pain
a new
lately.
day.
The
I
rheumatism,
suppose you're right.
these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one. No idea what you're talking about. All right. After this, we're square. I think I have seen that plaque. Sorry I lied. Can't be too careful these days. Head into the caves behind the theater. Turn right, then right again. Oh, and here. You'll need this key. You didn't get that from me. See you around.
In these caves?
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Go right, and then right again. Oh, I don't know where it is. go back and ask him again. I get so lost in 3D games sometimes. Oh my god, now we're down here. This is a fucking maze. No. Here we are.
Hilarious.
I'm guessing that
Gracious.
Promethean fire's not for sale.
Looking a bit troubled there.
You again.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh my god,
From what
where
I
is it?
hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway,
See
I
you
thought you
around.
Stoics weren't supposed
it
to
go right
worry
and then
about
right
things
again?
You can't
Alright, hold on.
control.
I'm guessing that
Yeah.
Promethean fire's not for sale.
Keep thinking. What if there is?
Maybe this is the caves. Go right.
What if she's out there somewhere?
This must be what they count as the
waiting to
caves,
be
not
found?
going up.
Sounds like you're torturing yourself.
No? Shit, is it in here? Is there a way to look at all the dialogue?
Galerius?
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
I'm guessing that Promethean fire's not for sale.
And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Not bad.
Don't be too hard on
Bad
yourself.
at all.
Oh,
From what I hear, nobody saw
hello
it
there,
coming.
partner.
Anyway,
I
I thought you
I'm
Stoics
glad you're
weren't
here.
supposed to worry
I
about
think there might have been
things you can't
some
control.
confusion about my little practical joke earlier.
Keep thinking.
You see, my plan was to give you a little fright. You know, like two friends joking around in the Saturnalia, and then surprise, I'd open the door. But when I
Sounds
opened
like
it,
you're torturing
you were
yourself.
gone.
Leave that for the gods. Try to relax.
Partner,
Get some
there's no
rest.
need for threats.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, well, I don't have to listen to this. Get lost. Don't even talk to me.
Galerius?
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Scintilla. I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking. What if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods.
I suppose you're right.
Okay, am I wrong that it wasn't in here? Maybe I'm confused. When he said caves, maybe I thought they meant these caves over here. Maybe I'm just wrong. I mean here? Oops. Up. What is going on? Go up. Thank you. Got it. Taken. Examine.
What are you doing here? Please leave. I said please leave. You're trespassing.
Okay, well, we got the plaque. Nice, nice, nice. Secret Christian hideout. Run, lady, run. Oh, okay. Whoops, this is not the right way. It is.
Hilarious.
Wonder how much
Horatius?
one of these statues is worth.
Looking a bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too
Back
hard on yourself.
again.
From what I
Couldn't
hear,
stay away,
nobody saw
huh?
it coming. Anyway, I thought you stoics
Not for a
weren't
few
supposed to
weeks
worry
now.
about things you can't control.
Last time I saw
Yeah,
him, he was sitting at a table with
thinking,
Georgius,
What if there is
whispering
something I can
about
do?
some job.
What if she's out there
I
somewhere
remember
suffering,
because they kept
waiting to be
looking over
found?
their shoulders
Sounds
as
He's
if they
freaking
didn't
out,
want
man.
anyone else to know.
Leave that for the gods.
So,
Try to
naturally,
relax, get some
I
rest.
hovered.
Tomorrow's a new
The
day.
one word I kept hearing was
I suppose you're right.
vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared.
Scrubbing that dish down, man.
Coincidence? I think not.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
See you
All
later.
weapons are to be
Salve.
tossed into the chasm. Magistrate's orders. Hilarious.
Horatius? You're troubled there.
Oh, this is where I start out. Okay. Oh, they're not here because it's nighttime. Shit.
Shiny. You took care of him? An accident? So, it's over? Oh God, that's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
Did you know?
I don't understand. Oh, I see.
big mouth shut then.
A big dumb mouth
Sorry.
shut.
I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything? Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can. I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am. What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables, and Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes, and Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you could live out your days. Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about, will we? Thanks. And I like your teeth. They're so white. And your clothes. Oh, I bet my friend Georgius would like to get a look at you. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the golden rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop. Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this'll help. Late last night, I was cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I popped my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who. It was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch, and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of 3 people. Horatius, Domitius, or Rufius. I hope that helps.
That does help. I'll be going
All
now.
right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
For murdering that guy earlier. Nickle's still up here, by the way, chat. Still going strong.
Shiny.
I can't do this one until I get the new guy elected. Alright, so I guess we gotta do this one. So bad with these Roman names. One of the three guys. Three guy's not here right now. Maybe they're all just back at the tavern. Back up here first.
The many shall suffer
What?
for the sins of the one.
Why? Somebody broke the golden rule. Go. So this is the game, is if someone breaks the golden rule, then you gotta reset. Well, we're still figuring out exactly the parameters of the golden rule, but basically you can't break in certain types of laws. So now it resets.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back? All right then. I'll get out of your way. Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind? I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me. Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. That's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason.
Malleus runs, he's gonna break the golden rule and kill us all.
And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
He plans to have Sentius executed for treason.
You overheard him say that? Oh, why does that not surprise me? He and Sentius have despised each other for a long time now. Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Alright.
Alright. See you around.
Oh, Pickle's on the move, chat. He has awoken. Pickle. Problem is, if he goes down there, Buzzums awaits. Oh, hold on. We're gonna have a cat battle here. What are you guys doing? Who's gonna move? Who's it gonna be? I think Pickle wants to play here, but I don't know if Fuzzums is gonna let him. Any movement?
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Doesn't do anything. Can I get in here? Can't get in there yet. It's probably for later on. So yeah, the game is reset again. All the characters reset, so you have to restart with the environment. Try talking to this guy.
Ah, a fellow. Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
Rolling R's in this game.
My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you will. Ah, I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath us. Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself.
Okay.
For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing. The offering, it is symbolic, you see. It is never eaten. So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw? Nothing! Nobody entered, and yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again. It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right.
Got it.
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you. Hey, my friend. Have you discovered anything about my vanishing offerings? Huh? Ah, that is all right. Perhaps another. And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
So is it still? I believe he still has it with him. Temple of Demeter. Okay, I'll be going.
I
now.
hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Where are you going?
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision. My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking. Nice to talk to you.
It's always funny when you're in these games where you have dialogue options and you like say something that offsets them and they sound mad, and then you're like, I gotta go, and they're like, I'll see you later. They're all optimistic and
Help!
oh shit!
You have to do something. You have. Thank you. He's still. I have to. What? All right.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
Said that the temple is just over by the baths. The one that he's gonna fall into. Is there nothing else I can do over here? Oh, it's this one over here. Oh, this is the place the one we go to. Alright, we're gonna save it right here. I'm gonna go get some dinner, guys. What? Okay. Guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go meet up with a friend.